Everybody, how we doing? Back doing another live stream on a pretty exciting day for Man City transfer news. Lots of news actually, and kind of a Bombatso type of day. First off, early in the morning, I wake up. We have drawn Real Madrid in the Champions League playoff. So not super surprising. Always feels like we play them. I think we've played them 5 times since 2020 or 2019. Seems like it's every year, maybe 4 in a row now. So a little weird that it's not going to be a semi or quarterfinal. It's typically got the prestige of a final even. Most of the time, those are two teams that deserve to be in the latter stage of the tournament. So with this one being just a playoff, maybe we'll have a little bit less intensity. I don't know. Maybe we will see. It doesn't. Don't expect something crazy. It is what it is. We play them and see what we can do. I'm just happy to have avoided the embarrassment of not qualifying for the playoffs at the least. So we will see. But again, more of that later on down the road. We are about 10-ish, 11-ish days away from that game. So nothing to worry about at the moment. Firstly, we will start with the interesting news that I'm not sure I was aware of whatsoever, but I will start here. There was a report that the NBA over here in America wants to introduce a franchise in England as part of its planned expansion into Europe. And apparently, Man City could be the club that they use to establish the team. So there could be Manchester City in the NBA, which would be just wild. Historically, I'm a big basketball NBA guy over here in America. It's very, very popular, of course. Lately, haven't been super into it. Focused more on like Jaguars and Man City, of course. But would be interesting. Would be very interesting to see Manchester City come play like the Orlando Magic or the Miami Heat or something. I don't know if that will happen or how far down the road that is, but was reported. Kind of thought it was interesting. Elsewhere, I'm just going to go through some of my bookmark tweets for the day. There was news a couple hours ago. Jacob Wright, see ya, on the way to Swansea, sold for 4 million euros, or pounds, pounds. So maybe, I don't know, 5.5 million euros, something like that. Not a very expensive deal, and maybe this kind of resolves the issue of fans wanting him to play and thinking he's of the requisite ability right now, when clearly if we're selling a guy for 4 million, it seems like he probably wasn't thought of to be good enough. Maybe we'll find out there is a buyback in the future or sell-on clause, which I'm sure there's at least one of them for this deal. City typically do that, even if we did royally mess that up in the Cole Palmer deal. Yes, Jacob Wright. I thought he did all right in the time he came on in the Cups this year. So he will not be, at least for now, making it in the Man City first team, giving maybe some hope for Nico O'Reilly. We didn't sell Nico O'Reilly, so maybe we will see him eventually. Now, following that, the real meat of the transfer day was right here at about 5 o'clock, or let's see, 5 hours ago. So 1 o'clock, excuse me. Man City have made a formal approach to Porto, asking for midfielder Nico Gonzalez. Talks are underway, and Porto will ask for an important fee. The player has a release clause worth 60 million euros, and Barcelona have a 40% selling clause. Now, he was apparently very highly rated at Barcelona coming up. I even saw a tweet suggesting at one point a couple of years ago, he, along with Pedri and Gavi, were the only untransferable players in the squad. Obviously, that ended up changing when they sold him to Porto, but the 40% sell-on clause does seem like they thought he was highly rated and someone that was going to get a transfer eventually. So Nico Gonzalez, new midfielder. I did a bunch of research as much as I could throughout the day. I found this report right here from City Side, who do a really good job covering City and giving some good information. Let me pull up the tweet here. Come on. Let's pull this one up. I will just pull it up right now. Yeah. I watched some highlights of Nico Gonzalez as well. And while, I'm not a scout, I've never played soccer or football in my entire life. Never once. It's just not big here at all. Never played it. But from what I can tell, this first line right here, standing 6'2", weighing 86 kg. I have no clue what 86 kg is. Someone will have to let me know what that is. But you definitely notice how big of a profile he is in midfield for certain. That's like the first thing that really screams off the screen when you're watching him. He's just a big, burly looking guy with technical skills, of course, coming from Barcelona. They say he can play deep as a pivot and more as an advanced 8, which of course is what we're looking for. 100%. That's what we need. We need someone who can play alongside Rodri, and if Rodri's unavailable, play in his place. Some other key attributes: they say he excels in ball recycling, which screams Pep to me. We are kings of pass it around, looking for the incisive pass. And he does have that incisive pass. There was multiple clips of him kind of at the top of a deeper sitting team, and he's finding areas to thread some balls in to guys who are a little bit more advanced in the box and around that area. So that was something that I at least noticed from my 10-minute scout video I watched of him. He controls tempo of the game. Maybe he takes too many touches. That's maybe something that would be coached through with Pep. He could adapt to the quick passing game that we like to play. His tendency to make runs into advanced positions allow him to contribute to attacks, which screams Ilkay Gundogan to me. That is the name that he seems like a bigger Ilkay Gundogan, is what I at least took away from this report that I read here, and a lot of what other people are saying on Twitter. Again, I've never watched Porto except for a couple times in the Champions League, so who knows if when I do full watch this guy play, if my opinions maybe change a bit. But does seem like all signs point to a very good and promising young player. He can operate effectively as a 6, which is huge, and he would contribute to transition play. Again, that's our biggest issue right now. When we lose the ball, teams coming back, countering us, our midfield doesn't have the legs, doesn't have the athleticism to get back into position. Unfortunately, with the age of our midfield, all three of the guys that start typically are over 30 years old. So you have Kova, over 30, Bernardo, 30, and KDB, who is, I want to say 34, maybe 33. I'm not sure. But again, lack of athleticism is huge and apparent anytime you watch City, as I'm sure anyone in the chat will certainly know. In summary, they say that his skill set aligns with our current tactical requirements. He can retain possession, has good movements off the ball defensively. He would significantly enhance our midfield and overall performance. Those are strong words, so I'm guessing they have watched enough to feel that way. I, of course, have not, but it is something I think that if we want to pay the release clause, it will be something that can get done. I'm not sure why we've waited until January 31st to decide we're not ready to pay the release clause. And maybe this has been in the works for weeks, who knows, and this is just today is when the journos get the story and whatnot. But seems odd to me that we are still at the point of trying to pay less than the release clause or or work an agreement in sort of fees. I'm not sure, but whenever you see a release clause, maybe you just have to pay it up front, and City like to do the payments over a period of time. So that's where the negotiation is going on. And as well, Barca having this 40% sell-on clause, Porto, are not actually going to be getting that huge chunk of cash because of that. So makes sense that they would want to hold out and recoup as much as they could as far as profits go. I'm sure Hugo Viana is going to have some really big familiarity with him being in the Portuguese league and coming from there. I don't know if this is a Cheeky or Viana signing. I would lean on Cheeky actually because there was reports from 2021 where Pep was enamored with Nico Gonzalez, and he's apparently been on City's radar for quite a long time. Previously, Barcelona just were not interested in selling, and he rejected any approaches made by other clubs. So I will pull quickly his scouting profile here. He is Argentinian. Hold on, this is the wrong guy. That's not him. He's from Spain. This is him. I saw the picture and I thought, that's not the right guy. All right. He is from Spain. He is 23 years old, and he just turned 23, so he's a young 23, which is great. I don't think he has yet featured for Spain in senior on a senior level. I think he has featured for them in the Olympics, which is great. See here, he's got 17 games in Portuguese's first league, 5 goals, 3 assists, which is pretty good. If you look over on the left, you see his stats against midfielders in the Big 5 leagues. Pretty good assists-wise, very good. Take-ons, very impressive. He has a lot of touches in penalty areas. Again, very impressive. This interceptions is a bit low at bottom 5 percentile, but that could be partially because Porto are one of the best teams in the league and they dominate possession. It doesn't necessarily mean he's bad at interceptions. He doesn't have the opportunity to make interceptions a whole lot. He is very also, as you would expect, very good in the air, as he is 6'2", which is something we massively lack. So that is something good and something I like to see. Pass completion percentage is not a stat I'm necessarily super concerned with. KDB always has a very low pass completion percentage compared to other people who are allegedly these great passers of the ball. I think basically when you take riskier passes, your pass percentage goes down, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're not a good passer of the ball. Exactly. So over here on the right, it does show players he is compared to or similar to based on these stats here. You do see a couple players I'm familiar with. Kefren Turam's pretty good at Juventus, and Guiso is pretty good at Napoli, and Weston McKennie, being an American, I do know Weston McKennie, and he does pretty well for Juventus. But no world beaters over here on the right as far as I'm aware. So yeah, we will see what goes on with Nico Gonzalez. Maybe there will be deadline day type deal. I'm not sure. I don't think City are getting him for any cheaper than the release clause, so City need to pay up if they want the guy. Elsewhere, there was a tweet from Purple Panel talking about Enzo Milot, who is a French, more of an attacking midfielder playing in the Bundesliga for Stuttgart. Apparently the release clause is 60% lower than Gonzalez is, but not available till the summer, which is no problem really. Maybe this is probably a summer deal anyway. I did take a look at his stats over here, and these are actually very impressive if you compare them to other midfielders. He is basically in the 90-plus percentiles in almost all of these attacking stats over here. And take-ons, he's 99 percentile. Touches in the penalty area, 99 percentile. Progressive passes received, 98 percentile. I mean, it's phenomenal, these numbers. Players similar to, huge players over here on the right. Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva, James Maddison, Martin Odegaard, Jude Bellingham, KDB, Alex Baena, Kubo from Sociedad. I mean, there's some great players compared to Milo. So this could be one for the summer. I doubt this one gets done in January. I just don't think an attacking midfielder is really of much importance at the moment right now, at least. So I in my mind, I picture this as a summer deal, which would be, maybe it's good, maybe it's not. Remains to be seen. So yeah, that's most of the transfer news for today. We of course play next on Sunday, 11:30 for me. I will be doing a live watch along, so if anybody wants to stop by and hang out and watch it with me, that'd be awesome. Anybody who made it through the video, live stream, give me a like, give me a comment, subscribe, all the good stuff that people do for these YouTube guys. Having a lot of fun seeing the subs continually go up. I do appreciate that, but again, if there's more news tomorrow, I'll do another video, another transfer news. But I'll definitely be out with my Arsenal preview tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, I'll probably be doing a live stream. So, big up City. Get the transfer window. Get the transfers done before the window closes. We have until Monday. So,